Hello students, we are solving problems under assessment of individuals. In this session, let us solve this problem. See this one, Mr. Swagat, aged 63 years, working in Parikar Private Limited as CEO, furnished the following particulars for the assessment year 2020-21 and financial year, that is previous year 2019-20. Compute his total income and tax liability for the assessment year 2020-21. Here Mr. Swagat, aged 63 years, that means he is a senior citizen. For a senior citizen, up to 5 lakh exempted income, up to 5 lakh no need to pay tax. Remember that point. Here Mr. Swagat is a senior citizen and not ordinary citizen. In previous problems you took only up to 2,50,000 exempted tax, but here up to 5 lakh income tax is exempted. Okay. Next, before listening to this explanation, go through this problem, read this problem thoroughly, then listen to my explanation. Okay. Now, see the first point, received salary for 12 months for 48 lakhs. In this problem, gross salary for 12 months is given 48 lakh. From this you have to deduct standard deduction under section 16 subsection IA 50,000. When you deduct that 50,000 from this, you get income from salary rupees 47 lakh 50,000 rupees. Next, see, rent received from house property let out for residential purpose 5 lakh. In this problem, annual value is considered as rent received only. To calculate income from house property, you have to deduct two things in this problem, that is 30% of annual value as standard deduction, and next one, see the payment, fourth point, interest on acquisition of housing loan. Okay. These two things you have to deduct from rent received 5 lakhs. 30% of 5 lakh is standard deduction, and see the fourth point of payment, paid at 9.75% per annum interest on rupees 42 lakh borrowed for acquisition of residential property, which was sanctioned on 1st May 2019. The stamp value of the house is 45 lakhs. Here the loan is sanctioned on 1st May 2019. Your financial year will start on 1st April 2019. That means after 1 month of commencement of financial year, this loan was sanctioned. That means interest is calculated only for 11 months. That is starting from 1st May to 31st March of 2020, you have to calculate the interest on loan. That is 42 lakhs loan amount into 9.75% into 11 months, that is 11 by 12. That amounts to rupees 3,75,375. But under income from house property, the deduction is allowed, that is under section 24 deduction is allowed only up to 2 lakhs rupees. But here your interest amount amounts to 3,75,375. The rest of the amount can be deducted under deduction under section 80EEA. Explanation for this section 80EEA and 80EEB I already uploaded in Google Classroom, that is PDF form or PDF material is uploaded there. Please go through that 2 points, because 80EEA and 80EEB deduction is introduced in this assessment year, that is 2020-21. That is why there is chance of asking that 2 points in the exam. So please go through that explanation, and then as per that explanation, the loan value must be less than 45 lakhs of stamp value. In this problem, that is less than 45 lakhs, that is 42 lakh in this problem. That is why you have to calculate the interest on 42 lakhs. Okay, up under this section, that is under section 80EEA, up to 1,50,000 interest amount can be deducted. That is up to 1,50,000 interest amount they can claim for deduction under this section. You will come to know that point while solving the problem, so leave that point now. Next, go through the third point of his income, that is short term capital gain rupees 1 lakh, taxable under capital gains. Next one, short term capital gain charged at 15%, 50,000. See, in this problem, two short term capital gains are there. First one, normal short term capital gain 1 lakh, and second one, short term capital gain taxable at 50%, 50,000. This one, that is taxable at the rate of 50%, for this separate tax liability you have to calculate like your long term capital gains at the rate of 15%. You should not consider this one to apply your normal tax slab. You have to exclude this thing, because on 50,000 you have to calculate at the rate of 15%. Okay. Next, see, long term capital gains 3 lakh coming under capital gains and taxable at 20%, and you cannot apply the normal tax slab for this one also. Next one, winning from horse race 70,000 net amount is given, that means TDS is already deducted from this amount. For the purpose of calculation of taxable income, you have to gross up this 70,000 at the rate of 30%, because TDS was deducted at the rate of 30%. You know how to calculate. 70,000 means 70%, then what is 100%? That amount you have to consider for the calculation of taxable income. And next one, interest on bank FD 75,000 and SB account 12,500, income from other sources, and interest on post office FDs 20,000 and on post office SB 8,000. Here Mr. Swagat is a senior citizen. In the previous problem I explained about section 80 TTA. In this problem, you cannot apply that 80 TTA deduction for Mr. Swagat, because that 80 TTA is not relating to senior citizen. For senior citizen, you have to consider 80 TTB, that is deduction in respect of interest on deposit in case of senior citizen up to 50,000 rupees. This deduction in respect of gross total income for interest on saving bank account 80 TTA you cannot consider. Here interest on FDs you have to consider, that is up to 50,000 under section 80 TTB. You cannot apply both TTA and TTB, because TTB is relating to senior citizens and TTA is relating to other category, that is below 60 years. Okay, here under deduction under section 80 TTB 50,000 can be claimed, but here total deposit, that is bank deposit and post office FD amounts to 95,000 rupees, but you can consider only 50,000. but under income from other sources, all incomes are taxable. Okay. Next, see, he made the following payments. First one, PPF 98,000, LIC premium rupees 60,000 and NPS, that is National Pension Scheme, deposit of rupees 80,000. Here PPF and LIC amount coming under section 80C, but the amount should not cross 1,50,000 because the maximum limit under section 80C is 1,50,000. So, you can consider only 1,50,000 and not more than that. And NPS, National Pension Scheme, deposit 80,000. For this National Pension Scheme, under section 80 CCD subsection 1B, deduction is allowable up to 50,000 rupees only. Please go through that notes once again before solving that solving this problem, that is section 80 CCD. I am not going to explain that here, please go through that one. So, for NPS, deduction is allowable under section 80 CCD 1B up to 50,000. Next, see, donation to National Defence Fund rupees 1,50,000, without limit donation under section 80G 100% can be allowable. And Karnataka Chief Minister COVID-19 Pandemic Relief Fund rupees 50,000. This is the new one, that is Karnataka Chief Minister COVID-19 Pandemic Relief Fund 50,000. This one is coming under without limit 100% deduction is allowable. This one without limit donation 100% is allowable. So, total of section 80G amounts to rupees 2 lakh, that is 1,50,000 plus 50,000. Next one, medical insurance, self 35,000 and on parents 46,000. He also paid 5,000 in cash for health checkup. Please go through the notes of section 80D, that is medical insurance premium paid. If the SC is senior citizen, up to 50,000 is allowable. If the SC is the age group below 60, only 25,000 is allowed. Here SC is senior citizen, so up to 50,000 is allowed and his parents 46,000. Addition 50,000 is allowed for parents. That is why this whole amount can be deducted under section 80D, and also 5,000. It is included in this 50,000 rupees. Okay. Go through that notes once again. I am not going to explain that one also. Next, see, paid at 9.75 per annum, interest on rupees 42 lakhs borrowed for acquisition of residential property, which was sanctioned on 1st May 2019. The stamp value of the house is 45 lakhs. So, up to 2 lakh deducted under income from house property under section 24, and the remaining 1,50,000 can be deducted under section 80 TTA. Note down that point, and I will explain that point while solving the problem. Next, see, paid interest at 10% per annum on the loan borrowed for purchase of electric vehicle, which was sanctioned on 1st June 2019. The amount of the loan is 20 lakhs. This deduction also, that is interest on loan borrowed for electric vehicle purchase, is introduced in this assessment year, that is 2020-21. I already uploaded the notes relating to this, that is section 80 EEB. Okay, this deduction is coming under section 80 EEB on your Google Classroom. Please go through that notes before solving this problem. Okay. Here starting from April 1st April 2019, that is if the loan is borrowed on 1/4/2019 or onwards, up to 1,50,000 is deducted, that is interest of rupees 1,50,000 can be deducted on the loan amount. Here loan is borrowed on 1st June 2019, that means only for 10 months interest should be calculated, because April, May no interest, from 1st June onwards, that is for 1st June to 31st March, for 10 months interest amount you have to calculate. On 20 lakhs 10% for 10 months amounts to rupees 1,66,667, but the interest amount can be deducted only up to 1,50,000 under section 80EEB. Okay. Let us solve this problem. You will come to that points there. Okay. See this one. Computation of total income of Mr. Swagat for assessment year 2020-21, particular and to amount column. Calculation of income from salary, you know, salary received 48 lakhs, from that standard deduction 50,000, that amounts to rupees 47,000, 50,000. Next see income from house property, rent received 5 lakh, municipal tax, no municipal tax is paid, you get annual value 50,000. From this you have to deduct two things, that is standard deduction at the rate of 30% of 55 lakh amounts to rupees 1,50,000, and interest on housing loan under section 24 subsection B, loan amounts to rupees 42 lakhs at the rate of 9.75%, that is percent, not 9.755, make that correction, for 11 months, because loan was borrowed on 1st May, that amounts to rupees 3,75,375, restricted to 2 lakh under section 24. Okay. That total deduction amounts to rupees 3,50,000. So, income from house property amounts to rupees only 1,50,000. Next, income from business is nil, no income from business is there, and income from capital gain is there, long term capital gain 3 lakh, short term capital gain 1 lakh, and short term capital gain taxable at the rate of 15% 50,000, that amounts to rupees 4,50,000. And income from other sources, 5 items are there in total. First one, income from horse race, 70,000 net amount is given, but you have to write the gross amount, that is 70,000 into 100 by 70, calculation I already explained, that amounts to rupees 1 lakh, that is including TDS. And interest on bank FDs 75,000, interest on bank SB account 12,500, interest on post office FDs 20,000, and interest on post office saving bank account, interest on post office saving bank exempted up to 3,500. Here interest on post office saving bank amounts to rupees 8,000. From this 3,500 you have to deduct, that amounts to rupees 4,500. Okay. Remember this point, do not forget to deduct that exempted amount 3,500 from post office SB account. This is available for both ordinary citizens and senior citizens. Okay. That 8,000 minus 3,500 amounts to 4,500. The total of income from other sources amounts to rupees 2,12,000 rupees. The total of your income from 5 heads amount to rupees 55,62,000. That is your gross total income. To get total taxable income, you have to deduct deduction under section 80. Under this there are various deductions. First one, LIC premium 60,000, PPF 98,000. Total of these two amounts to rupees 1,58,000, but under section 80C up to 1,50,000 can be deducted. That is why 1,50,000 you have to consider for deduction under section 80C. Next one, section 80CCD subsection 1B, NPS, that is National Pension Scheme, restricted to 50,000. Go through that notes. And section 80D, medical insurance premium 35,000 on self, 46,000 on parents and 5,000 health checkup, that is in cash, total of 86,000. But under section 80D for senior citizen, that restricted to 50,000 and addition of 50,000 on health of parents. That is why this comes under within 1 lakh limit. You can consider the full amount. Next thing, section 80EEA, interest on housing loan over and above deduction under section 24B. Under section 24B, you consider 2 lakh, over and above that 2 lakh amounts to rupees 1,75,375. But under section 80EEA, that amount is restricted to 1,50,000. That means the maximum limit is 1,50,000. So, only up to 1,50,000 you can consider under this section. And section 80EEB, interest on electric vehicle loan, that is restricted to 1,50,000, but the calculation see on 20 lakh at the rate of 10% for 10 months, because loan was sanctioned on 1st June, that is from 1st June 2019 to 31st March 2020. That amounts to rupees 1,66,667, but maximum limit is 1,50,000 rupees. Next one, section 80G, both are without limit 100% deduction, that is donation to National Defence Fund 1,50,000 and donation to COVID-19 Pandemic Relief Fund 50,000, total of 2 lakhs. And section 80TTB, interest on FDs, maximum limit is 50,000. Here two FDs are there, that is bank FD and post office FD, but maximum limit is 50,000. The total of deduction under section 80 amounts to rupees 8,36,000. When you deduct this 8,36,000 from 55,62,000 gross total income, you get the total income as 47,26,000. This 47,26,000 is his total taxable income. On this you have to calculate the tax liability. See the calculation. Computation of tax liability of Mr. Swagat. He is a senior citizen aged 63 years. Here on casual income, short term capital gain at 15% and long term capital gain, the tax rate is same, that is on short term capital gain at 15% of 50,000 amounts to rupees 7,500. On long term capital gain 3 lakh 20%, that amounts to 60,000, and on winning from horse race at 30% of 1,30,000. Next, at normal rates on remaining balance, that is 47,26,000 minus these three things 50,000, 3 lakh and 1 lakh, that is 42,76,000. On this 42,76,000 you have to calculate the tax liability using normal tax slab. On first 5 lakh nil, because up to 5 lakh is exempted limit of senior citizen, and on next 5 lakh at 20%, that is from 5 lakh to 10 lakh at 20%, 1 lakh. Next, on balance 32,076, 32,76,000, that is 42,76,000 minus 10 lakh, that is first 5 lakh and 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 32,76,000 at 30%, that amounts to rupees 9,82,800, that is total tax liability using the normal tax slab. His total tax on income amounts to rupees 11,80,300, that is 9,82,800 and 1,30,000, 60,000 and 7,500. On this 11,80,300, you have to add health and education cess at the rate of 4% of this amount, that amounts to rupees 47,212. The total tax liability amounts to rupees 12,27,512. From this you have to deduct TDS on winning from horse race that you considered for calculation of tax liability purpose. When you deduct this TDS, why you are deducting TDS? Because this amount is already deducted from your winning amount. That is why no need to pay extra tax on that amount. You get tax liability as 11,97,512. This 512 can be converted or reduced to or rounded off to nearest 10 rupee. That is why total tax payable by Mr. Swagat amounts to rupees 11,97,510 rupees. So, this is the problem. Please go through this problem, important one, and it may come for 24 marks. Go through this notes once. I already explained all these points, so I am not going to explain once again. Thank you. Let us solve one more problem in the next session.